Hi, my name's Christopher Boyd and I'm a Solutions Engineer for Prefect. In the first demonstration, we discussed deploying the Prefect agent onto a default namespace. In the second demonstration, we discussed deploying the Prefect agent to a customized namespace. In this demonstration, we're going to reuse the customized namespace on Prefect 2, except now we're going to update that agent to point to the Cloud API. We're going to need to make a couple changes in order to do so. First, we're going to have to change the manifest and pass in the API key and the API URL. And because your key is sensitive, we're going to want to create a secret. And then lastly, the API URL. This is what you have generated when you log in. And so you'll have your workspace ID and your tenant. So let's go ahead and review the version. The current version is 2.0.1. We can see over here on the left that I already have an existing implementation with a working Kubernetes agent. So first, we're going to go into prefect2.yaml, and we're going to discuss what needs to change here. So I have a sheet. We're going to copy this in, and I'm going to work through actually creating this. So we'll copy in the values. So the name, Prefect API URL, this is the environment variable that gets passed in. By default, this is using a containerized networking interface, which is how Kubernetes communicates to that. But we're going to change this to be our actual API URL that we would use. So I have here mine, for example. This is going to be replaced with yours, notably the accounts, which has the account ID, and then the workspace ID. Obviously, we don't want to display our key, so we're going to create a secret. Now, what's notable here is you have the environment variable that's being passed in, the secret name, and then the secret value. So this isn't the value itself, this is the key that holds the value. So now we're going to walk through creating that. So we're going to do kubectl create secret generic. We're going to name it API key because that's the name that we have in the secret key ref. We're going to do from literal equals the prefect API key. Note, this is where I'm saying the key down here. And that key value is going to equal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to set this to be an arbitrary value currently, and it's going to fail to come up, but then I'm going to override it from the command line, and we'll be able to see that actually come up. So I did make one mistake here. We created that in the default namespace, so let's go ahead and update that to create it in the Prefect 2 namespace. Okay, so now that that's created, we can go ahead and run this deployment. So we're going to do kubectl apply-f prefect 2. We should see a second instance come up. We'll check the logs, and we should receive a 401 because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not a valid login, and that's okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that key. In Prefect 2 namespace, set the real API key. Now that that's set, we'll wait a couple seconds. And now we can see that it is successfully connected to my cloud agent. With that in mind, we already have our Kubernetes work queue created, and that concludes this demo. And so now we're running a Kubernetes agent for Prefect that is pointing to the Cloud API. Thanks for watching.